Hello and welcome to the first episode of Fractured Kingdom. We are so excited to finally share our D&D campaign with everyone. Because this is the first episode, I do believe introductions are in order. So let's go down the list in Discord, with everyone introducing themselves and their character. Starting with you, 80.
Hi, my name's 80. I am playing the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, Oriel, but feel free to call her Ori.
Hi, I am Pete. I am playing the half-orc barbarian Corvus, Path of the Zealot barbarian.
So I'm Joe. I'm playing the Asmar Order Cleric, Michelmas.
Hi, I'm Dan. I am playing Ash. I am a human ranger level 5 and a rogue level 1.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'm playing Mari Lowfeather, half-elf Oath of the Ancients paladin.
And I'm Jacob, and I am the Dungeon Master. So with character introductions out of the way, let's continue. Welcome to Pradda, the only known continent on the material plane. Created by the good god Deio, Pradda was destined to be a haven safe from the corruption of the evil god Tashan spreading through the multiverse. Instead, Tashan opened interplanar portals known as fractures that allowed evil to invade Pradda. 1,000 years later, the Fracture War ended, with the forces of good prevailing, and Deio closing the fractures. The Kingdom of Pradda was then formed, with the Windsor Family serving as the monarch, and peace was finally reached, but it did not last long. Now, nearly 2,000 years later, in the year 1998, in the Age of the Kingdom, Pradda is no paradise. The Kingsguard, known as the Kingsmen, struggle to maintain order, and most folks struggle to get by, which led to 5 fledgling adventurers in need of work banding together about a month and a half ago. They named themselves the Crown Gall. In their adventures, they rescued a young half-elven woman named Emma, who was kidnapped by a group from the Black Rose Thieves Guild. The party agreed to take Emma to the capital Lux to find a cure for the red dragon scales covering her back, and along the way, learned that Emma had pyromantic powers which could open new fractures. In Lux, the party could not find a cure for Emma, but they did find her someone who could help train her to learn to control her powers. The party also learned that other fractures have been found, and that the Order of Sira, the cleric order of the party's cleric Michelmas, has been searching for relics which will aid the Church in the second inevitable Fracture War. The Crown Gall are now set to travel to the city of Anatolia, where Emma will hopefully continue her training at the East March University, and the party will set sail to the Eastern Isles in search of a relic. However, in the early morning hours of the 16th of Rain Blossom, while the party is still in Lux, there are 3 Crown Gall members who encounter visions in their slumber. Michelmas. Michelmas finds himself standing in the city of Lux at night. The dark sky is lit by burning buildings and filled with yelling and screaming. Michelmas, however, does not have his eyes up on the city skyline. Instead, the Asimar is preoccupied by 24 people who have him cornered in an alley. Some are wearing red and black cultist robes, others wearing dark leather armor and black bracers, the armor of the Black Rose, but all have their eyes and weapons aimed at Michelmas. What does Michelmas do?
I have a channel. Is it channel? Yeah, my channel divinity. That orders demand. I'll try this. Oh, I can't post it. I'll try to get my oh, I can't read that. Can you? In that.
Oh, yes, we got that.
Okay. It reads weird on my dark mode. So I bring out my holy symbol, and each creature that can see or hear me within 30 feet must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by me.
So as Michelmas grabs his holy symbol and casts Channel Divinity, he suddenly sees a bright white light shine right above him. And as he and everyone else standing around him look up, everyone quickly sees Sira, the Archangel of Law and Order, wrapped in shining white and gold robes, floating in air thanks to their gold-tipped white feather wings. White blindfold covers their eyes. In one hand is holding a golden set of weighing scales, which is shining and giving off the intense light. There's a loud clamor as all the weapons by the people surrounding Michelmas, one by one, drop their weapons before turning and running away. Sira slowly lands down right in front of Michelmas with a quick flap of their wings, turning around and facing Michelmas. But even though they're blindfolded, Michelmas still feels as if the Archangel is peering right into Michelmas's very soul.
How much do I think that this is a dream? Do I recognize that it's a dream?
You do recognize this is a dream.
So, I'll first give thanks to the angel for coming to help and providing safety, and ask her for guidance for the future and what I can do to be of service to them and the order.
They reply, "You already hold the power. You already hold the power to stop any injustice, to stop chaos itself, for you are the law. As a cleric of Deio, you are order. You are righteous justice." And after they say that, the gold scales in their hands suddenly shine once again, blinding Michelmas as his vision turns white.
So I can't. Can I see?
This is you then wake up
Oh, I wake up. Okay.
from your slumber. However,
What-
before you wake up, Corvus also has a vision in his sleep. So Corvus, you find yourself standing in the dark, windswept and rocky terrain of the abyss. You don't see anything around you except for many dark rocky crags. But yet, through the howling wind that is blowing through the terrain, you hear this sinister and unfortunately familiar laugh ring out around you. You thought death was the end of me? Believe me, it was only the beginning. As Corvus looks around, he still does not see her, but he knows the voice as the voice of Oskira, the hag who took Emma from the party and sent the Banshee, which had killed Ori. So what does Corvus do?
He yells out as loud as he can, "Face me, you coward! Face me in combat!"
Corvus suddenly hears Oskira's voice whisper and one of his ears. As you wish. Corvus, make a wisdom saving throw. Corvus feels the effect of a spell start to seize up and paralyze his body. But with his anger and rage towards Orskira, Corvus is able to shrug it off and rip out of the effect. As he does so, he turns around and sees the hideous purple-skinned form of Orskira standing behind him about 30 feet away, whose devious smile quickly turns into a very scared look as her spell seems to have failed to hold you in place.
I'm sorry, how far away did you say she was?
30 feet away.
Oh, then I will enter my rage and I will charge her.
Corvus yells as he rages and runs up straight towards Orskira. Make an attack roll. With one powerful swipe from his glaive, Corvus cleanly cuts off the head of the hag. Her terrified eyes looking into the blood-raged eyes of Corvus, but as her body drops, it does not bleed, but instead her head and her body slowly dissolves into dust, which then slowly gets blown away by the fierce wind. However, even after she disappears, her voice still sounds out in the air around Corvus. This is not over. You'll be seeing me again soon. And as her voice slowly fades away, Corvus's vision slowly fades to black. Ori. Ori finds herself running and sprinting through a dark cave somewhere in the Underdark. She doesn't have to look behind her to know that there is something chasing her. With her energy quickly waning, she rounds a curve and finds herself standing in a dead end. But before she has a chance to catch her breath or find an exit, she hears her name called out behind her. Ori! Ori! As Ori turns around, she sees her father, Ren, lying on the ground and reaching out towards her as a dark shadow rolls through the cavern towards both of them. What does Ori do?
Can I... Well, I want to go to my father, and can I magic missile the shadow?
Ori quickly sprints towards her father. As she does, she looks at the impending shadow about to crash down on both of them. With just the thought of magic missile, the red arcane bolts suddenly shoot out straight into the weird dark force. However, it doesn't appear to do anything as the magic missiles quickly become engulfed into the shadow. As Ori is reaching out towards her father, her hand is unable to grab Ren's before both are surrounded and consumed by the shadow. In the darkness, Ori feels her body slowly seize up as she is lifted off the ground by this force. Her breathing becomes strained from a chilling fear, but she feels something deep inside her that feels like it is resisting and fighting back against whatever is inside the shadow. But even so, Ori still finds herself on the verge of suffocating as she's out of breath, and a deep, distorted voice speaks out and reverberates around her. Embrace your true power.
Ooh.
Ori then sits up in bed, taking in a few desperate breaths, and realizes that she is not awake yet. She is sitting on her bed inside one of her childhood home, her second one in Foss Canyon. She smells cooking, and as she looks over, she sees standing in the kitchen. She sees standing over in the kitchen the two tall and lithe forms of two jesters who are wearing comically small pink aprons over their black and white costumes. They appear to be arguing with one another over the best way to cook whatever it is they are burning. No, it's way too dark. What are you talking about? It's fine. You can still eat it.
You do need to eat?
The jesters who had rescued and resurrected Ori from limbo not too long ago both turn around and look over towards Ori and say, "Of course not!"
Well, that is just sad. But it explains a lot, I guess. Is there a reason I'm here?
Well, yeah, of course, we made you breakfast. Come on, have a bite.
What is it they're attempting to cook this time?
As Ori sits down at the kitchen table, a plate is dropped down in front of her, and on top of it is a large 12-inch diameter pancake, which appears to be 2 shades short of being burnt.
Ah.
As
Well, maybe
says, we decide to try our hands at making some pan-fried breakfast cakes.
Oh. Maybe I can kind of like peel off the top layer and just eat the kind of center of the pancake. That's not as burned, but maybe you guys could try making like dinner sometime, you know? Like maybe breakfast food just isn't your thing.
Urdik and Malum look at each other for a moment, and they both look over at Ori, and Malum says, "Oh, I get it. You're just ungrateful. That's it?"
Oh no, I'm most grateful, of course, but you know, if you're broadening your horizons, you could just always think even more outside the box, you know?
Rudik looks at Malum and says, "See, I told you we should forget the pancakes. You're just jealous. You're not as good of a cook as me. Anyways, so, what was that thing that was chasing you in that nightmare?"
Does it remind me specifically of anything I would have encountered in the Underdark before, or is it just ominous?
It doesn't. You do not recognize it from anything you've seen in the Underdark before.
Oh, manifestations.
You do recognize it. Yeah, you do recognize it, however, from a couple previous nightmares.
Yeah. Oh, manifestations of my anxieties and fears after a traumatic experience. You know how it is, wouldn't you? I'm sure it represents like a lot of things.
Rudik and Malum give each other a very awkward look, and then say, "No, we don't know anything about traumatic experiences. What are you talking about?"
Right.
Anyways, we sort of heard that you're planning on heading over to the Eastern Isles. Is that right?
Yeah, Mickey's got like a gig over there or whatever. I don't really get it, but yeah, it's gonna be a vacation, I guess. Working vacation. I don't know.
Well, remember, when you're on vacation, think positive and happy thoughts. Don't think about death-eating shadows, alright?
Great! I'll keep that in mind.
Wonderful! They both awkwardly move their eyes back and forth between Ori and the partially eaten pancake. And then Malum says, well, are you gonna finish that?
Sure, if it'll make you happy, I'll finish my breakfast. That's probably not gonna actually fill me up when I'm awake.
Riddick looks at Malum and says, see, she is ungrateful.
What are you gonna do about it?
Ori suddenly hears something above her, and as she looks up, one of the boards in the ceiling suddenly splits open, and dropping down, covering and burying Ori, are hundreds of pancakes.
Oh no.
And as the force of all the falling pancakes knocks Ori out of her chair, and she continues to get buried and buried under more and more pancakes, she barely makes out the laugh of Riddick and Malum. It's at that point Ori wakes up, still with the taste of almost burnt pancakes in her mouth. With that, the party wakes up in the morning of the 16th of Rain Blossom.
Just for clarification, is it safe to say that we all just finished a long rest since we all woke up?
Yes, everyone finished a long rest.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Did I actually spend a spell slot casting magic missile in my dreams?
You did not.
Cool. Great. Do Emma and Mari look like they got better sleep than I did?
Mari slept great.
Yeah, they did. Emma also slept great, especially since she still has the magic sleep stuffed animal, which
Oh yeah.
with one single command word lets her fall asleep for 8 hours.
Great. I think Ori will actually think in her head, like, do you two make me fall asleep, or is that something else?
She hears in her right ear the voice of Riddick. Make you? We can't make you do anything. Then in her left ear, the voice of Malum says, Yeah, we're just sort of along for the ride. It's whatever's inside you that keeps pulling you out of your trance into those weird nightmares. Yeah, you should try to stop that next time.
Oh, any suggestions?
There's a moment of awkward silence, followed by more awkward silence, and eventually there's no reply.
Great. So then, Ori will trundle on down for breakfast, and hopefully not pancakes. She's not really in the mood.
Unfortunately for Ori, it is pancakes along with eggs being served for breakfast here in the Glory Road Inn.
Of course. So, Mickey, you have like a teleportation circle lined up we can use? That's the plan?
Yeah, I think so. So, where is the circle again? I got the details from.
Oh, the teleportation circle is in the Northrend Library in Lux.
Okay. So I'll share that, and are we ready to go?
Well, what about getting Emma to school?
Well, yeah, it's
Emma
getting us
says,
all to the city.
Oh, that's in Anatoly too.
Okay.
And when is your appointment for that, Emma? Your interview?
It's at noon.
Okay.
And currently it's around 9 a.m.
I mean, we We should probably plan to stick around until we know if Emma gets into the school or not, right?
I would think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. That seemed to be the way things worked out. That we could get her there and then get her in, and then we could take off.
This party
Well,
is
I'm all
discussing
packed
their...
up and ready to go.
Yeah, with Maury very eager to get out of Lux. The rest of the party is talking about what to do and talking about their day's plans when Gloria, one of the owners of the Glory Road Inn, walks up and says, "Oh, I couldn't help but overhear. Is this morning your last day with us?"
Yes, we shall impose upon your wonderful hospitality no longer, at least for the foreseeable future.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you stay here the last few weeks. Although there is still the matter of payments for the last couple of weeks.
Right.
Yes.
What was that? How much did that cost again?
Between the room and the food and the drinks, will be 62 gold.
Dang. Okay.
Okay.
That's
I'll throw in 16.
So
12.
we do. What is it, like 10 apiece, or that's?
Well,
only
it's like
50?
12 apiece plus a little bit.
15. For you to do 15 and leave them a tip. Good tip.
Perfect.
I'm just
Yeah.
doing 16. So, whatever that ends up being.
Right.
Or we'll pass over 15 then, yeah.
Same.
I'll put in 15 too.
I will also give 15 gold.
Alright, so that's 76 total.
Gloria gives a big smile and says, "Oh, you were all so generous, and most definitely welcome next time you're around here in Lux. Where are you heading off to, if you don't mind me asking?"
South.
Oh, it sounds lovely. I haven't been given a lot of chances to travel too much, especially not in recent years with the inn, but promise me, next time next time you're in Lux, you'll stop by and tell me all about your travels, will you?
Sure, of course.
Absolutely.
So,
Ori, make a deception check.
deception? She was
That sounded like a
mostly-
very sarcastic, like Ori didn't
it
actually
was,
want
it
to
was
tell.
maybe a little. So I think Ori was thinking about all the shenanigans we might get into. It's a bad
Aw.
deception. Dang it.
Despite your obvious hesitance, Gloria does not seem to notice as she goes back to her morning cleaning.
There isn't any connection to the Underdark in Anatolia or the islands, are there? I'll ask the other people who might know more about these things.
Everyone can make a history check.
Okay.
I'm super smart.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Told you, I'm super smart.
You're only 5 smarter than I am.
So Ori and Ash know that the known entrances into the Underdark in Pradda, if we go back to the big map, the known entrances are in Lux, in Mon's Arbor and the mines there, and then also the mines in Foss Canyon between Petra and Mog.
It's
There
probably
are
for
not-
the best that we're leaving Lux.
Yeah, the Eastern Isles, as far as all of you know, don't have any connection to the Underdark.
Perfect. Well, I guess we can pack up and head into the library then.
Right. With the party packing up all their gear, right as they're about to leave, Ash, you notice over on the job board in the inn, there was a note that had a handwritten prayer that someone wrote out. You didn't realize it before, but as you're looking at it one more time, you realize that there's a code written within the notes, a code which your old friend Eric taught you. And the note says, "In Thieves' Cant, the garden awaits."
Interesting. Would I know of any gardens in the area?
Make a history check. You do not know of any particular gardens within Lux, although you have seen a couple different fountains. However, you do know that it likely has something to do with the Black Rose Thieves Guild, since it is written in Thieves' Cant.
Okay.
A rose garden, if you will.
Yeah. Maybe. Or maybe they're just recruiting.
Maybe.
Can I take the posting?
You can if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab it.
Like a pan check. No.
Ah.
So, like, would the people who put the things on the notice board, would they be, like, obvious or have to check in with Gloria and her husband? If we ask them, would they know more information about who put it there? And do we remember, like, how long it's been there that we didn't happen to notice it?
You guys checked on the job board when you first arrived in Lux about 3 weeks ago, and the note was there. If you'd like, you can try to ask Gloria to see if she remembers who put it there.
Probably 3 weeks ago. Nobody would remember, but
Yeah, I'm guessing not.
Alright, to the library then.
With that, the party leaves the Gloria Road Inn and heads into the inner city of Lux. As the party reaches the Nortron Library in the northern district of Lux, they see, standing on the stairs, waiting for them, a human man with short black hair wearing silver and blue Kingsman plate armor. It is Alex, the Kingsman who has been teaching Emma how to help control her pyromancy, and who's also grown very fond of Emma, and Emma of him. He walks down the stairs to greet all of you. Good morning! Today's the day, huh?
Yep. Here to wish Emma good luck.
Well, yes, and to give her this, as he looks at Emma with a smile and pulls out a present wrapped in some red wrapping paper. Emma curiously grabs it and unwraps it, then gives a big smile as the present is a pair of long, dark brown and fingerless gloves.
Ooh,
Oh.
snazzy.
And,
Are you?
and Emma quickly says, "Oh, thank you, these are perfect." And as she pulls them on, Alex says, I've also, while I didn't make them myself, I might have added an enchantment or two, which will let them be used as a spellcasting focus for you. And they also won't burn up.
Nice. Are
Emma
you heading
grins.
off to your post soon, Alex?
Yes. Emma grins, gives Alex a hug. Alex hugs Emma back, and then Alex looks over towards Ori and says, "Yeah, I have about another week until I gotta head down to Anatoly, and Father Tarn asked me to help out with something else today, so I'll probably be heading down to Anatoly probably the next day or two.
Oh, okay.
Probably stop in, say hi to my dad before I head down to Fort Silva for the..."
Mm-hmm.
Since my investigation of him last week didn't go very well, I'm paying very close attention to his words. Does he seem to be straightforward in what's going on here, or is there
Make an
anything
insight
that I
check.
might pick up? I would love to do that. Insight. 14.
When he mentioned Anatoly, you realize that there was something about his voice when he was talking about Anatoly and his dad. You weren't quite able to catch up on what he was thinking about as he was talking about that city.
Okay. We've got like the night at least in Anatoly, or are we going to be? How soon are we going to be leaving there for?
You'll
Sure
spend at least one night in Anatoly.
Ori wants to stay in Anatoly until Emma knows for sure whether she's into the school or not. So depending on how long it takes them to make a admissions decision.
Okay.
That Alex says, I need to run. It's been a pleasure meeting all of you, as he gives a handshake towards everyone in the Crown Gall, and then gives Emma a hug and says to her, Alex will look over and give a quick glare over at Ash, and then tell Emma.
Oh, I just want to whisper something in his ear when he shakes my hand. I'll be like,
okay.
We've come very close to young Emma here. If anything were to happen to her, you see that guy over there? And I nod at Corvus. For my birthday, he promised that he'd beat someone up for me. So, just be careful. And then I smack him on the back.
Big friendly smile.
Alex
Of
will
course.
give a super obvious fake smile back towards Ash and then roll his eyes. But he'll give Emma a hug and say, You have nothing to worry about. Just remember to relax and it'll be a breeze." With that, Alex heads away into the city as the party walks into the library. Not too many people are in the library, however, sitting at the front desk is a female orc librarian, very tall, almost 7 feet tall, who appears to be reading a book at the front desk. The party, a couple members of the party recognize her as she appears to be working here a lot, but she doesn't appear to notice the party at all.
My very good friend. I don't know if I wrote down her name. What's her name again? I think Or would remember. I just don't know. I
Her
don't think I
name
put
is
note.
Niga.
Niga. Okay. Yeah, Oriel will walk up and be like, "Good morning, Niga!"
Niga lets out a short and rolls her eyes before going back to reading her book.
Okay. Well, as a patron at the library right now, I did have a question. If you could tell us where the teleportation circle would be? Please?
She'll look over at Ori with a very surprised look and say, "Do you actually have permission to use the teleportation circle?"
Yeah. Mickey has it permission, and we're his plus, 5s, 6s, 5.
4.
Don't forget about Dash.
plus 6.
Ruff! Niga rolls her eyes before her look turns back towards her book, and then she says, "Take a right, then a left, second right, third left, 2 more rights. You'll be
Thank
there."
you. Have a lovely rest of your day. Ori is genuinely trying to be nice here. She's not trying to just bug her, but that's probably what she's accomplishing.
As the very disinterested librarian does not give a response to Ori's farewell, but the party winds their way through the books and the hallways in the library until they come across a set of wooden double doors with 2 Kingsmen, both humans, standing on either side of the door. As they see the party walking up, one of them holds out a hand and says, "Stop! Did you get lost? You're not allowed to be back here."
I'll defer to Mickey and his connections.
Yeah, I'll tell him. How much of the plans did we finalize in our 25 words sendings back and forth?
Varol told you that as long as you mention your name and Varol's name, you should be able to use the
Okay.
teleportation circle.
So then, at the who sent you, I'll tell them that I'm Michelmas and our company, at the behest of Varol, are going to be using the teleportation circle to head south to Anatoly.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I didn't know it's going to be tougher. I would have probably said something. Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
15?
Okay.
When the guards looks at everyone else who you brought along with you, then just lets out a little sigh and says, "Follow me." As he leads the party through the doorway, leads to another long hallway with several other sets of doors on either side. Eventually, he leads the party through into another room, a round room. In the middle, there is an orange arcane rune drawn into the floor. The Kingsman stands off to the side and says, "Just walk right up into it."
And just kind of as a flashback before we head off, on the way through Lux to the teleportation circle, did we happen to pass anywhere close to where my dream had occurred or any of the fires that were burning? Do I notice anything different about those areas? If we didn't go by there, I wouldn't go search, but if we were, if it were like along the way, I'd make sure to kind of check it out and see if there was anything weird about
You do
that.
not pass by. From your best guess, you're probably somewhere in the southern part, in the southern district, and you do not pass by that.
Okay. And are we all ready then?
Let's do it.
Yeah. This is exciting. I've never used one of these before.
I'm a little bit worried. I've never used one either, but here we go.
So, one by one, members of the party step onto the orange arcane rune in the floor. And every time someone does, there's a quick flash of orange light before they disappear. And once you yourself step onto the rune, there's only a momentary flash. We're suddenly standing in a near identical room. However, you realize it's definitely not the same room because there are now two different Kingsmen who are standing on either side of the door inside the room. And one of them says, "Step away from the circle unless you want to get hit by other people coming. Come on, let's go. Hurry up."
Just as charming as they were in Lux.
And does it make sense that the King's Guard would be the people guarding the teleportation circle, or would that generally have been someone else's duty?
Make a history check.
$14.
You don't think it's that odd for the Kingsmen to be helping guarding teleportation circles, and it does have some security issues involving the kingdom? So you don't think it's too odd?
Okay. I was just wondering, with the placement in the church's library, if they would have typically done it, but...
The library was not technically the church's library. The church just has an entire floor in the library which they're allowed to use for any of their research.
Okay. That makes sense.
Great.
So the two Kingsmen, once everyone has stepped through into Anatoly, the Kingsmen lead the party through several more sets of doors and hallways until they are eventually brought up into the front of the tall East March University in the city of Anatoly. As everyone steps out, it's a strange. Even though you know you're teleporting, it's still a strangely odd feeling having at one moment been in one city, and then after only a couple of minutes, you're now stepping out into a brand new city and coastline none of you have actually seen before.
Is it, is like the weather and the buildings, is it a similar vibe to Lux, or is it very different?
Weather is pretty much the same. It's a very sunny and clear. Buildings have a lot more elegant structure, especially with the university itself. And as you're looking around, the main difference is the inner city of Lux had a wall around it. Here in Anatolia, it does not appear to be any walls to the city, as you can clearly see several farms surrounding the hills around the city. So the party is at the East March University right now.
And that's where Emma's applying, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. But it's a little early still.
Oh yeah. You have a little over 2 hours now.
Okay.
Should we check out the town square? A little time.
Did you want to find your boss guy, Mickey, or should we just want to do a little sightseeing before Emma's
In 2
application?
hours, let's just do a little sightseeing, take care of Emma, get her checked in, and then we can get on with official business.
All right.
Or do you want to check out the town square first?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look.
The party heads on over to the town square, seeing dozens of merchant stalls set up, as there appears to be a market almost as large as the one in Lux. There appears to be a wide variety of food, a lot of which you didn't actually see in Lux, which is very curious. But the main difference in terms of the food is there are also a lot more different kinds of fish available, as it appears Anatoly has quite a large fish market going on. But besides the food and the fish and the other edibles, there are also a lot of merchant stalls set up for a lot of handmade goods, such as clothes.
Huh?
As the party is walking by, they see an elderly dragonborn woman with copper scales who gives a crooked-toothed smile towards the party and asks, "Oh, I have some lovely jewelry for sale. Handmade bracelets?"
Ooh, let's take a look.
Sure, yeah. Or you'll be polite and take a look at her wares.
Ori and Mari stop by her stall and see she has several seashell necklaces and bracelets for sale.
You know, there are some rock people who love these things. I'll tell the dragonborn lady.
She looks very confused and says, I'm sorry, rock people? Are you talking about rock genasi?
I don't know. They weren't quite rock genasi, but similar, I think, actually. And I gave them a seashell necklace kind of like this. So, I mean, yours are clearly better than the ones that they were selling back in Lux. But, yeah, they were fans.
How much are the bracelets?
1 silver each.
I'll take 3.
Wonderful. As she hands over 3 nearly identical but still slightly different seashell bracelets to you, Mari.
They're beautiful, thank you.
How long is a course of study at the university, Emma? Do you know, like, about how long you would expect to study there for?
Emma says, well, Alex said that it really just sort of depends on like how much you want to study and like how quickly you learn stuff. But it's generally like 3 to 10 years, depending on
Oh!
what you like to do.
Okay.
3 to 10. That's not much of a range. I had Emma and Ori bracelets.
Thank you, Mari.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Mari.
Of course.
Emma gives Mari a quick hug and then says, "Yeah, but Alex told me I'd hopefully only need to be there for like 4 or 5."
Sure. I mean, whatever you want to do, though, you know.
Is anybody following us?
Make a perception check.
This always goes so well. Okay.
Yeah!
looking around Mari, you do notice a few people do seem to have taken notice of the party, but it doesn't seem to be a lot of ill will against them. They seem to be mostly impressed by the impressive weapons the party has.
Thank you.
Yes, especially with Mari too, because of her green steel shield, which is very uncommon in this part.
Are you gonna need help buying books or anything?
Yeah, does she have anything to cover expenses for a while?
I mean, I still have almost all the platinum that I was gifted to by that one Black Rose member.
You don't need to call it a gift. That's too kind to them. But yes, you still have that money. Call it reparations. Maybe. Or an apology. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but Alex said I would probably need to maybe try to find some job around here too. But I mean, I don't know. I just kind of figured I'd maybe just make some dresses or other clothes, try to sell them when I can.
Yeah. Or maybe you could pick up some, like, mending work from a shop or something. If there are any, like, tailoring shops that outsource that work at all. But,
We'll
yeah,
figure
okay.
something out. We'll make sure you're.
Yeah, and
So-
you'll let us know if you run into any trouble with funds.
Oh, don't worry, I will. But I mean, to be honest with you, I don't need a whole lot to get by.
Alright. I guess Ori will talk to the Dragonborn lady who just sold us our bracelets and be like, well, is there anything, like, we're new to the city, we just got here today, is there anything that we really should see or do, you think, to get to know Anatoly at all? We have a couple hours to burn.
Oh, first time in our city. Well, to be honest with you, you're already here. Town square is mostly just the place to be. We don't have too many shops besides Smith's over in that direction, and then the Amethyst workshop over in the other, although they mostly just do stuff for the university. Yeah, not too many shops around here, mostly just people selling stuff at the right here at the town square.
So is the Amethyst workshop like a magic workshop then?
Yeah, they make magic stuff. I don't know. Saw them there one time. Everything was too rich for my blood. Only had a couple things to sell anyways, too. They're apparently busy just doing stuff at the university. All them people can actually afford whatever it is the things do.
Sure. Alright.
What are the guys in the party doing while Emma and Ori and Mari are talking to the necklace vendor?
I think I'm just looking for, like, something spit roasted on a fire. Like a
Nice.
chicken leg or something. It's almost lunchtime, I'm hungry.
Following your nose, Ash, you are quickly able to find someone who has a rotisserie chicken being cooked over a small campfire.
Is that chicken for sale?
Yes, the Air Genasi, who is slowly spinning the chicken, looks up at you and says, "Sure, if you got the gold for it." And
How
by
much?
gold, I mean it's just Not even a gold, just 2 silver for the chicken.
It's gonna be like the gold for it.
Yeah, I'll take that chicken. I'll toss him 2 silver.
Lovely. It'll be a couple minutes until it's actually finished, but not too long.
I yell over at Corvus and Orcish and be like, "You hungry? I got a chicken."
Just the smallest amount of drool appears on the lip of Corvus before he wipes it away.
So I'll go talk to Ash with his newfound connection to the Thieves Guild and see if he would have an idea of, now that we're in Anatolia, where Alex is from, if there might be a way to get some quick information about him in town. I don't know that I'll mention that I tried from in Lux and failed. I don't know.
I mean, if we're looking for information on him and we want to reach out to the Thieves Guild, probably be best to like find maybe like a job board and put a note up. See if anyone responds. That's probably the best way to contact them.
Wait, so does
They're not
Ash
gonna
have
be-
connections to the Thieves Guild now officially as a...
Ash does not have any official connections to the Thieves Guild, but because he knows thieves can't, it'll be easier for him to find potential connections.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we'll take that on if we're going to be in town for a while, but if we're just going to be leaving, I think
Yeah.
posting a sign and then not being around might not be very effective. So
Sure.
I'll just keep that in mind.
Yep.
So, if we still have time to kill, Ori would be interested in visiting the Amethyst Workshop, I think, just to see what it's about.
The party does have time. Anything else the party want to look for at the town square before heading over to the workshop?
Corvus is just waiting on that chicken.
Yeah.
Yes, the seasoning on it is it's not bland, but it's still pretty basic salt and pepper seasoning. It still tastes, it was still perfectly rotisserie cooked though. It is lovely.
All we need.
Yes, Ash and Corvus, the Bash Bros, as they call themselves, quickly devour all of the chicken, leaving nothing but the bare bones.
I could see Corvus eating chicken bones.
I'm definitely gonna keep one for a toothpick for the walk.
Crack it open, suck out the marrow.
Yeah. Dash also gets in on
Yeah.
the action and very greedily eats 2 bones at once.
Oh no.
Well, not eating them, but just biting down them. So while some members of the party are eating their chicken they bought, they walk with everyone else over to the Amethyst Workshop. Walking over after getting directions from the necklace vendor, you come across a rather small and square-shaped. It looks like a small and square-shaped home, not super descript. Although there is a very small wooden sign that's posted above the door, which says Amethyst Workshop. As everyone steps in, it appears there's only one single room within the building. Although behind the counter, the party does see there appears to be stairs leading to some kind of basement underground. The party does not actually see anyone, although they do hear the sounds of a few people talking down on the floor below. But after only a short moment, the party sees a human man who looks to be in his 50s somewhere, with salt and pepper hair and a goatee, sort of a little bit of a stocky build, although still somewhat tall, wearing a simple tunic and trousers. He walks up the stairs, gives a smile towards the party, and says, "Well, hello there. Welcome to the workshop. You here for a pickup?"
Oh no, we're just new in town, and we heard that you sometimes just had items for sale. Do you usually work on commission then?
Yeah, we mostly just do commissions nowadays. Don't keep too much on hand, but we should have a couple things if you wouldn't mind waiting for a moment.
Not at all. Yeah, I'd love to see your wares.
He walks back down the stairs. After a couple minutes, he walks back up. Appears to be holding three items: a ring, a rock, and then a stuffed animal of a almost yellow jellyfish-like creature.
Ooh. We're gonna point at that one first and say, "Well, that's quite cute. What is that?"
This is a flump toy. When the students over at the university made it as a joke, but when I saw this little fella as he kneels down and gives some pets to Dash, he says, "I knew he'd love it." And the guy squeezes the toy and a little squeak sound comes out from it, which causes Dash to immediately drop the bones in his mouth and jump up and bite the flump toy, which squeaks as he's biting down on it.
Does it have any actual arcane properties, or is it just a squeaky toy?
Well, I mean, the squeak is arcane.
Oh, okay. Well, how much is it for that, then?
That one, unfortunately, is 40 gold.
What a salesman. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you see, the student who made it, I told her that it probably wouldn't be worth the gold in price materials, but she still insisted on making it.
So do you, like, teach classes, then, for, like, the construction of magical items? Is that,
Yeah,
like,
I
part of
teach
the...
some enchanting and alchemy stuff.
Okay. And what is the rock and the ring here you have?
Well, see, the rock is for you, as he hands it over to Michelmas and says, this rock should be able to help the tears in the bottom of your robe. I'm assuming caused by that one, as he points over towards Dash.
And so what does a rock do to fix robes?
The rock allows you to cast the mending spell.
Ah.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Is it like using a spell slot, or like a once per day sort of thing, or?
No, well, mending's a cantrip, so no spell slots, and it's...
Oh, it's a cantrip.
Yes. Michelmas bends down and holds the rock down towards the bottom of its robes. The thread magically fixes itself until it looks like it was never torn in the first place. And the workshop's owner says, "Yeah, one of my other students just has a fascination, should we say, of enchanting random objects just because. So, I got a couple other random enchanted rocks down there, but let's just say they're a little dangerous for me to be willing to sell to random folks, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
So if the worst of the things to my robe are from Dash's tears, then and this rock will fix them, then I would be interested in doing that. I'm kind of thinking about multi-classing to get prestidigitation to take care of green stuff, but I don't have the any 13th to multi-class in. How much is it? How much is this?
The rock will run you 60 gold.
Ouch.
I know it's a lot, but think about it. You're easily going to be able to save 60 gold just on repair costs, not having to buy new things in the next year or two.
That is true.
Yeah, Mickey, my prestidigitation can't actually fix
Tears.
I can clean stuff. She makes a point of like making the hem of Mickey's robes like extra dirty and then cleaning them again. That's about it.
Yeah, the workshop owner smiles and points over at Ori and says, "She has a point, you know."
Yes.
I'll
and
pitch in
since
a little
that,
for you.
what? No, I've got it. Unless you need things that you need mending and would want it for, I'll pick that up.
You're so generous, Mari. Which Ori says in a kind of admiring but also kind of admonishing way.
I mean, it'd be nice. That'd be a nice source of income for Emma. She could just go around mending stuff. What?
Yeah. We'll see if she's interested in it later.
I mean, I think she likes the act of sewing too, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe there's just someone with a cantrip that just goes around mending everyone's clothes for a slightly reduced cost.
At the mention of Emma, the party notices that the workshop's owner appears to be looking at Emma's new gloves. And he says, "Those are some fine gloves you have." And she says, "Oh, thank you. Do you mind if I have a closer look at them?" And she nervously holds out a hand towards him. And as he sort of leans closer looking at the fabric, he says, "These were enchanted very well. Do you do this?" "Oh, no, they were just a gift."
He did attend your university though, so maybe you had taught him before? Alex? Oh gosh, where am I?
Princeton.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know him? Do you recognize his work?
The workshop's owner starts laughing. I may or may not know an Alex Princeton. You also may or may not. Yeah, you also may or may not be talking to an Alex Princeton.
Are you
what?
senior? Are
Yes.
you Alex Princeton Senior?
Yes, I am. So
Ori's mind went to identity theft. I'll tell you what. That's where Ori's mind went. She was like,
Well, we just saw your son earlier this morning.
Oh, is that so? How is Junior?
He's doing good. He's, training to become a Kingsman.
Yeah, it's scheduled to head down to, I think, one of the forts. I think he said Fort Silva.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
like a
I
week or
think
so.
but he was planning on stopping by here. Yeah, he was very helpful in Lux. He was a good friend to us in Lux.
Well, that's Junior. Always on the lookout for someone to help. Yes, Alex Princeton Sr. will take your 60 gold. Michelmas saying, thank you. And...
So can I tell, is what he's saying, like, just father's pride, embellishing his son, or proud of, is it like an honest admiration of his son, or is it kind of like, I need to say good things about him because my son, even though I might not
Make an insight check.
actually feel that way? I would love to. Wrong page. Back. Say, boom. 20.
You do sense some pride in Alex Princeton Sr.'s voice. You also do sense a little bit of disappointment, but you're not quite sure what that is about.
Okay.
Wait a second.
But Alex will then hold up the ring.
He's honestly proud of his son and thinks his son is doing good stuff. Okay.
Yes, then Alex will hold up the ring and say, yeah, this ring, it's going to run you 400 gold, but you won't ever have to worry about drowning. At least, probably not.
Ooh, that was a
That's
concern
nice.
for us for a little while.
Alex has a very curious look on his face and says, well, in that case, I definitely recommend you
Ooh.
purchase this. It'll only run you 400 gold. But if you've almost drowned before, then I guarantee you it's worth every gold piece.
So I think, do I get that next level?
Do we want to pool resources and do this, or do we want to?
I was just now reading the wording on the water breathing spell to see if
It's very handy, water breathings. Since we're going to the
Yeah.
Isles, it might be.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I was like, we're going to islands.
Yeah.
Ori will chip in.
Yeah. Mario
this.
too.
Ori will chip in up to 200 to this, but would love if other people want to chip in, so it's less.
Yeah. I'll for sure chip in.
I will also.
Or we just-
I'll throw in 100.
Okay, so we'll all throw in 100, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Cool. Ori hands over 100 gold. Who wants to wear it first, then?
Which only 4 people need to throw in 100, so otherwise
Right.
all 5 people.
Yeah.
in
Ash
80.
didn't say anything. So
Yeah,
Ash will have to figure
Ash
it out
didn't
on his
say
own.
about chipping in, so I assumed it was gonna be the 4 of us
No, I
splitting
mean,
it.
He'll have
I'll
to
pitch
figure out
in,
how to
that's
breathe on
fine.
his own.
I'll throw in 80.
Oh, so we're just gonna
Oh,
do...
okay. Somebody math.
Math.
With everyone in the party pitching in 80 gold, the party now has a ring of water breathing.
Alright, who wants it? I kind of feel like a marshal should take it. Is it? Yeah, it does require attunement.
Sorry, what does that mean?
So you get so many attunement slots. You get for magical items. You get 3 by default, and it takes an hour to like attune to an item, and then you can use it. Otherwise,
Okay.
you can't
Okay.
access the magical effects of a item that requires attunement that you aren't attuned to.
Yeah,
It's
there's
basically
some-
just an in-game way to limit how many super OP magic items you can have at once.
Cool.
And for like a weapon, sometimes you can like have a long sword that requires attunement. You can just use it as like a regular long sword, and but then if you attune to it, it can have like a bonus magical
Right.
effect.
Okay. Yeah, I think either Corvus or I probably.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm cool
take
with
it.
that.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, go for it. You're the one of us that dives into water most.
Yep. Corvus has just volunteered to become our team scuba. Well, it was certainly nice to meet you, Mr. Princeton. And I hear your son did mention to us that he was probably going to be in the city in the next day or two. So you might see him soon.
Oh, love it to hear. And please, you can just call me Alex.
Yes,
No
and,
need for Mr. or Sir.
Oh, well. All right.
Yeah, he will bend down and grab the flump toy, which is still in Dash's mouth, as Dash gives big puppy dog eyes over towards Ash, as he doesn't want to let it go.
Oh no. How
How
much
much
was
was
it?
the
40?
toy?
It is 40 gold.
Oh, I'll buy it. Can't not. With that face.
Look at that. Look at that put him.
This better be an indestructible toy if we're spending 40 gold on it.
That's what it said. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
indestructible.
It is indestructible unless it gets
Okay.
dispelled.
I did not. I missed that when I was glancing at the.
I cast Dispel Magic on the toy. Oh,
Oh, Mickey, you jerk!
That wasn't me.
You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can cast it in this party.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, barbarians don't have the Dispel Magic spell. That's just crazy how that works.
Yeah, so weird. Total
Just
flavor
dispel.
fail.
Yeah. Just dispel face, right?
Dispel Spine.
Ugh.
I try and maneuver Ori over into a corner to whisper to her, do you have detect magic up to kind of check out the gloves and see if there's anything beyond
Oh, beyond just
things
being
that
a.
Alex
Oh, interesting. Okay.
said? I forgot to prepare it today.
Sure. Ori will spend a level 1 spell slot.
Wand.
But that's just ID.
Okay.
I don't know if the identify wand would like
help with that.
tells. I mean, maybe it would work. I don't, because
The identify wand would teach you all of its properties.
Okay, the wand works too then. Sure, yeah, let's use the wand then.
Yeah.
Or we'll also just say like, to Alex, like, yeah, Emma's actually applying to your fine institution later today. So.
Do you have any hints
Oh, is that
to help
so?
the interview go well?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have any hints or things that we should know to help the interview go well?
I mean, I've never really seen or been in the room for any auditions, but as long as, but basically just don't hold back. I mean, most of the deans decide pretty quickly whether or not they think you got potential or not. So just go for it. Don't hold back.
And I would certainly appreciate if you could be a friendly face for her in town since we're going to be having business out of town once she's made it into the school, which I'm sure she will.
Oh, of course. Any friend of Junior's is a friend of mine.
Great. Okay. Well, we've cleaned you of your stock, so I think we will be on our way. But thank you again for everything.
Yes, you are very welcome. It was lovely to meet all of you.
So yeah, as we leave the shop, I'll like kind of give Mickey a nod and then like kind of tug at Mari's elbow and be like, "Can we double check the gloves with the wand of identification?"
Great idea. But take it out and do it.
Right, using the wand of identification on Emma's gloves, they are indeed enchanted. That allows them to be used as a spellcasting focus, and they are immune to fire damage. And there does not appear to be any other enchantments or magic to them.
So no like spying or tracking stuff. I'm good then. I'll take Mari.
No
and
divination.
Ori for-
Cool. Great.
With that, the party heads over to the East March University, and it's at this point we are going to take a break because I need to get some water.
Okie doke.
So, as the party is walking back over towards the East March University, Emma says, "Sorry, I guess I kind of forgot to mention that Alex's dad helps out at the university."
Well, you knew.
Well, yeah, he told me.
Okay. I mean,
Not a big deal.
it's fine. Unless he's a jerk to you, then it's a problem.
And we care.
You have nothing to worry about. He's a really nice guy.
Good. I mean, I liked him just fine when we were in his workshop, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying, I don't really mind you not mentioning to us, unless he's a jerk. Which so far he hasn't been.
I thought you were talking about other Alex, but I mean, his
mean,
dad.
both.
I mean, he didn't
Both
talk a lot
Alexes.
about his dad.
Junior and senior.
What did he have to say about his dad?
Yeah, he talked a lot about his dad. Yeah.
He didn't. Mostly just said that
Oh, got it.
he had a workshop where he helped out with students at the university, teaching them sometimes.
I mean, Alex is obviously really good at the kind of stuff his dad does. His dad probably hoped he would take over the workshop, especially if he likes working with his hands. That seems kind of weird, actually. If you like working with your hands so much, why not just go into the magical workshop thing that you're so good at? Maybe you should ask Alex about that, Junior about that.
He probably just wanted to get out and see more of the world. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I guess not.
Daddy issues. So if I get a chance away from Emma, after Alex Senior saying like go all out during the practice, I'm a bit worried that that's gonna call in another fracture, and so I talk and say that we should probably make sure that we're sticking around in case something bad happens, and we can make sure that we're there to help with any after effects.
You have Dispel Magic prepared?
I did not. So
Maybe one of the professors at the Magical University of Magic will have Dispel
Yeah.
Magic.
Thinking someone there will probably be able to help.
Hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
if they have people who are like throwing around experimental magic anyways to like be as weird and show offy as possible, you would hope one of the proctors of the exam would have a Dispel Magic.
Corvus, make a history check.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Don't usually go well for me.
I mean, that's
That's not
decent.
bad.
Corvus, vaguely remembers he had a dream, a vision. He had a dream of one of Alabaster Stein's memories, the wizard who saved Corvus years ago. In that vision, Corvus remembers a special room which appeared to be pretty secluded off from the outside. So there likely isn't going to be a big worry about magic affecting the outside during the audition.
And if something happens, we can always show up and destroy whatever comes through the fracture.
Yeah, of course. But it's only happened like twice before. It's probably not going to happen today.
As the party is talking, they walk up the stairs and enter into the Magical University of Magic, as Ori put it.
I like that name.
Yeah, you know, maybe I'll mention that to somebody, that they should update their marketing and their their university identity.
And as they enter in, the party does see a sign which has been set up to point towards the area for the auditions. And following in, the party sees what looks to be about 5 other people who appear to be auditioning. All of them appear to be in their early teens. They all have their parents with them. Emma definitely has the largest group with them.
So I was gonna say, I'm like,
Her
but does she have a
entourage.
full?
Her posse.
Does she have a full frontline row at to fill? No.
Yes, there's an elderly human woman who has a clipboard taking people's names. She turns and looks a little concerned seeing everyone who is with Emma. Just asks, "Are one of you here for an audition today?"
I push
Yes.
Emma forward a little.
Yes, I'm Emma Elan. The one marks off her name. Says, "Alright, wait here with everyone else."
Woohoo!
As a little precaution, I'll cast aid on Emma and Ori and myself.
Now we get to attack someone for free, right? I'm gonna take out some of the competition. No, not really.
Unfortunately, no. Instead, the party... Instead, the party sits down on some cushioned benches which have been set up on either side of this hallway. The party does see a set of wooden double doors. Over on one end of the hallway, there is a dwarf who is wearing green and white painted armor, who appears to be standing guard. As the party is waiting about 10 minutes when the dwarf yells out, "Kalyana Vestus," and one of the other girls stands up, walks over, and he says, "You can enter. Good luck." Opens one of the doors as she steps in. About 5 minutes later, Kalyana steps out with tears falling down from her eyes. It appears she did not get the response she was looking for, as her parents there to console her. Dwarf calls out the next name, and one by one, each of the prospective students have their audition until Emma is the last one.
Does anyone appear to have succeeded?
No, in fact, it appears none of the people auditioned apparently impressed the deans enough to get in. But at last, the dwarf says,
Good luck,
"Goodbye,
Emma,"
Lon."
and I'll give her
Come on.
guidance. It only lasts a minute, but maybe that'll be of use in the.
And I'll just say, Emma, don't hold back.
You got this, Emma!
Go get him, Tiger.
Hey, thanks. She takes a nervous breath and slowly exhales and walks over towards the dwarf, who opens the door, lets her in. Party waits about 5 minutes. Most of the students were only in there for maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Seem to be going pretty quick. As the party is waiting, 5 minutes turns into 10, and then 15, and then 20.
Can we hear anything at all, like through the door?
You do not hear anything at all through the door.
Hmm.
After about 30 minutes, Emma does eventually walk out of the door, her arm shaking a little bit.
Ori stands up and kind of like hops from foot to foot a little bit nervously, like not sure how to ask, but like really curious, but like ready to support her if she didn't get it.
Emma will walk over towards Ori and Mari and give them both a hug.
I give her a great big hug.
Yeah, big hugs.
How did it go?
How you feeling?
I don't know. I opened a fracture.
Well, you know, I bet they don't see that every day.
I know, I mean, I just
Always positive.
I just threw some fire, just like Alex taught me, and then one of the deans kept asking questions about me and told me I was holding back.
Oh.
And then
Well?
I tried again and sort of opened a fracture, and then, I don't know, they just sort of started arguing and yelling about what to do.
Did they close the fracture? Or he's like ready to
And are you okay?
go in?
I mean, I wasn't hurt. No, they closed
Good.
the fracture, but I don't know. At which point, the dwarf guard yells out, "The deans would like to have a word with you, Five."
Why? Alright. We're just a fan club.
Well, they would still
Okay.
like to have a word with her fan club.
Well, that makes sense.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah, we'll head in.
You know, we are kind of functionally her guardian.
The party steps through the door, and they step into an impossibly tall, circular chamber with white walls that appear to be going hundreds of feet up into the air. The floor itself has a weird green tile design. Despite not seeing any light sources, Emma was told to stay outside during this part.
Just us 5. Okay.
Yes, and as the party steps in, they see the entire area is perfectly well lit, even though there doesn't actually appear to be any source of light. As the party step in, they see sitting behind tables near the far wall are 8 people wearing green robes with white embroidered trim. All of them also appear to be wearing different colored pins over on their left breast. As the party walks in, one of them yells out, "Please step forward."
I'll step forward.
Yeah, Ori. Yeah, Ori's walking in head held high.
So the party steps up with Emma standing in front. The party sees a female wood elf who has a white pin of an open book with some magical swirls coming out of it. She says, "So, if you wouldn't mind, we have a few questions for you regarding Emma."
Certainly.
How long have you known her?
Has it been 2 months?
A few months.
A few months, yes.
And how would you describe her character?
I would describe her as determined to do good in the world. And weighed down by the responsibility inferred upon her by her powers. And,
So you know what she can do.
we're aware, yes. We were hoping this would be the best place for her to learn to control and, stop these events.
You know, some of the things she can do, we're uncertain of the full range of her powers currently, or her potential powers.
True.
Ori and Michelmas make persuasion checks.
Yes.
20.
Yes.
There isn't a response from any of the other deans for a moment. But the elf who asked the question before continues speaking. We would be remiss to not consider the potential danger of helping Emma embrace her powers which she have.
The danger, potential of her not receiving any support? Have you considered that as well? Be turned loose without any guidance? There are spellcasters among us who've taken care of her, but no teachers.
Do you think she'll be able to handle the responsibility of her sorcery?
I don't think she has a choice either way, but yes. I don't think it could have happened to a better person, but clearly it's not something she can turn off. So it doesn't really matter. What matters now is that we give her the tools and support possible.
She's very dedicated to working with and understanding and controlling her powers. She's, for the past 3 weeks or so, she has been working with Alex, Princeton, to
Junior.
Junior. She's been working with Junior to.
Well, I meant Alex Princeton Jr.
To understand and gain her trouble. She's been very dedicated. I believe she's. Yes, I certainly believe that she's. Got the temperament for the training here and doing what needs to be done.
Ori, make a persuasion check with advantage since you were helped by Michelmas.
Cool.
A couple of the deans nod, but there's a moment of silence as it appears all the deans are thinking about what the party has said. A gnome sitting on the end of the table yells out, thank you for your input. If you wouldn't mind giving us some more time to discuss this matter further. Thank you.
If I could make a request in turn that if you do decide to not accept Emma, which I believe would be the wrong decision, if you would perhaps put
Yes,
some
you have
thought
made that very clear.
yes, and if I could
Wood Elf who's asked the questions replies.
Wow. Thanks. I appreciate that you're able to understand what I'm saying to you. That's good. That's good to know. You can do that in a school here. But if you could make recommendations for her, if you decide not to allow her into her institution, since clearly her current situation is not tenable. And Ori will walk out. Didn't have to interrupt.
I'll cast Thaumaturgy to open the door for us on the way out.
Nice,
as we,
nice.
as we leave.
Both doors suddenly open up. One of them does not open quite all the way, and as the party just hear a little "ow!" As it appears, the door opened right into the dwarf who is standing outside, who quickly moves the door out and steps inside, sees the party walking out. And then,
Oops.
yeah, he mutters towards the party, "That was completely unnecessary."
Well, maybe you can
Ignore
handle that one.
The party sits back down with Emma and waits for another 5 minutes, which turns to 10 and 20. And after about another 25 minutes, the party sees one of the deans step out. The party sees a man with tan skin and long brown hair. Looks to be in his 50s. He has a red pin of the open book on his robes. He steps out, stands in front of Emma, then kneels down so he's closer to her level as Emma is sitting down. And he says, "Well, Emma, you should know that after a lot of thought, we are welcoming you into this fine institution. However, I must tell you there will be a lot of interest among the deans in your work, but please do not let that hinder you in any way. I'm here to help. My name is Vakri Shane. I'm the evocation dean here at East March. While we hope that you will come to embrace all schools of magic, I will be your primary teacher here."
What kind of vibes do I get from him? Is he a good teacher?
Make a perception. I'd say insight check. Yeah, insight.
Ori wants. Well, wait. Maybe not.
21.
Ori is gonna cast Detect Thoughts using 3 sorcery points. So
Michelmas, with your insight, he seems to be genuinely wanting to help Emma. Ori, with your Detect Thoughts, let me double check the wording on Detect Thoughts again, because it is a...
And I did use my psionic sorcery to cast it.
I just wanted to double check to see, so if you do not probe deeper, you will not know you're detecting his thoughts.
Or he's not planning on probing the dean. Probing deeper on his thoughts.
Yes, but in his thoughts, you sense two things. You sense a desire to teach Emma to control her powers, but you also sense anger that there are some deans who did not want to help her.
Do I know at all which deans those would be from his surface thoughts?
From his surface thoughts, you do not know, but you do have a feeling about one of them, the wood elf, who's asking the questions.
Alright.
Any other deans, you're not quite sure of.
Fair enough. And she's not gonna, she'll let the spell go once she gets that. She doesn't need to. You know what, I'm gonna cast, actually, I'm gonna use my action to, read the surface thoughts on the dwarf. Who is at the door?
Yeah. The dwarf at the door has a lot of disdainful thoughts towards the party, mostly because of what happened with the door.
Sure, fair.
Yeah, he also appears to be hungry.
Okay. You know what? And then she'll let go. Psionic sorcery is so cool. Yes, so that will be all with that spell.
During all this, Emma is no longer shaking, but just nods along as she listens to what Valkyrie has to say. At one point, Valkyrie holds out a hand towards her as he says, once again, "Congratulations, you are the newest student of East March University."
Thank you,
Emma
Professor.
finally
Thank
gives a
you,
little
Professor.
smile and shakes his hands. As he stands, he says, I have time right now to give you a tour of the university and also of the dorms."
So I get to, with thaumaturgy, I'll do a little video game, you've succeeded in your quest kind of real little music pop up. Do. Congratulations, Emma!
Yeah, or you'll throw some sparks.
Emma will smile and then give Ori and Michelmas both a hug. And then one by one give Maria and Ash a hug too. She stops looking at Corvus, not knowing whether or not she should give him a hug or not.
Aww.
I'll give her a push towards him.
What does Corvus look like? Does Corvus look receptive to a hug?
I mean, is he ever receptive to a hug?
I don't know. You tell me.
Being pushed from
Relatively.
Michelmas, Emma will give Emma will give Corvus a hug anyways.
And then he will pat her on the head because he doesn't know what to do.
Oh, buddy.
A teddy bear.
I assume that tour and stuff is just for Emma, so do you wanna plan on having dinner with us one last time before we head out of town, or?
Emma says, "Well, yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I don't know where you'll be staying though, but maybe just send me a message." And
Yeah.
Valkyrie will say, "Well, the most popular inn in town is Shelley's, which is over by the docks."
Okay,
Alright.
great. We'll
Well,
probably
by
check in there.
popular with who?
Mickey.
I mean,
By the docks is
most
normally
popular
not
with the
great.
sailors, but to be honest, the only people who are coming and going from here are sailors. Not too many other non-sailors passing through like yourselves, no offense.
I appreciate the recommendation.
Is there an
With that,
admissions
Emma
office
will
or anything?
give another hug over to Ori and Mari, and just say, thank you both so much, and thanks to all of you for just helping me so much.
You've done so well, Emma. You're gonna do great. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
We're so proud of you.
Yeah. You're gonna get a hang of this, kid. You can do it. You're in the best place to learn, and if anyone can do it, it's you.
All right. Well, I'll meet back up with you for dinner. Okay.
Absolutely.
With that, Emma walks off with Valkyrie as the party is led back out towards the front entrance of the university.
Alright. So, it's what, like 2 o'clock now? 2 or 3?
Time of day by now is going to be about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay. And where was Mickey told to meet with, what's his face?
Mickey was told to meet with Varol at the Church of Cognos in the
Okay.
center of town.
So, Shelley's is kind of on the way. I mean, the church is kind of on the way to Shelley's, I should say. So we could swing by the church first.
Sounds like a plan.
Party heads on over to the church. Stepping into the large atrium, they see a large fountain which has been built in the middle of it. There are about a dozen different people who are sitting around talking. Does not appear to be very busy at the moment. One of the people inside a female mountain dwarf with long brown hair sees the party. She walks up over towards the party and says, Well, hello. Passing through our fine city?
Yes? Hi.
We've been in contact with I can't ever remember his name.
Girl.
With Varol, and he told us to meet him here.
Oh yes, I will lead the way down to him. And as she leads the party, she looks over towards Ori and says, I don't mean to pry. It's just you live in this town long enough, you can pretty quickly catch on who has their sea legs and who doesn't, if you know what I mean.
Fair enough.
The dwarf leads the party down a staircase, down a couple floors, into a large circular room, which has several bookshelves lining the walls. There are 4 different round tables which are set up on the floor in the middle of the room. And the party sees 3 figures there. Yes, the party sees an elderly goblin with small spectacles on his nose, 3 single hairs coming out from the top of his head. They quickly recognize him as Varol, the head of Michelmas' cleric order. However, they also see a human man with short red hair and a tall wood elf who also has red hair. But it appears that the human and elf appear to be trying to clean up what is a very messy and and papers scattered everywhere room here in the library. Well, in the church's library. But as Varol looks up from his book and sees the party, he grins and says, "Oh, Michelmas, you finally come down here. How's the travel? You didn't throw up, did you? You know, some people get nauseous when they first use a teleportation circle."
I did not know that was true, but none of us seem to have very much problem with the traveling.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please sit down.
Fix seats.
Yes. With that, the two others appear to start clearing off papers and scrolls which have been piling up on chairs.
I think Ori will kind of offer to help in, like, picking up scrolls.
The elf smiles at her and says, "Oh, thanks. I can take those."
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, none of us are really the tidy type here.
Like, it gets under my nerves ever so much.
Yes.
Poor
And with
Mickey.
with Varol totally oblivious to Michelmas' disdain for the mess, eventually enough chairs are set up for everyone to sit down. As everyone sits down in a rough circle, Varol says, "Well, are you ready to sail the seas?"
Aye, Captain.
As ready as we're all would be.
Great. So, one thing of note, which I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but the church is only willing to pay for passage for you, Michelmas.
What?
So I'm afraid if the rest of your companions would like to join you, it will be 10 gold for the voyage.
Peace?
Yes, 10 gold each.
So they're okay if Mickey goes alone and he's a complete failure because he isn't able to do it by himself. Because it's ridiculous to have someone do this by themselves.
Hey, look, I tried to see if we can get more funding for this, but to be honest with you, the money's been tight already as it is, and not a lot of people think this is actually a viable expedition, mostly just think we're chasing fairy tales, if you will. But I know that we are definitely onto something here.
You think if we prove this expedition is successful and important, there could be compensation afterwards? Or at least a reimbursement?
If this proves to be worthwhile, then there is a likely chance of reimbursement, but I cannot promise anything.
Okay.
It's fine. It's not like I'm gonna let him go alone.
I will definitely cover the costs of this, because
No.
there's no reason people should be paying to go on my adventures.
I mean, I will chip in, but I'll pay.
No, I have full confidence that we'll be repaid, and so I'll pay it. And
Wow, alright.
Wonderful, but you don't have to pay me. In fact, here, as Parole hands over 10 gold pieces to Michelmas and says, the captain for this trip will be Captain Valhall on the Isle Runner.
I like that name.
Do you know if we'll be the only passengers, or if this is like a commonly charted voyage that would have other people on the boat as well?
Oh no, you'll be the only passengers. And Captain Valhall is on the northernmost dock. That's where her ship is. So tomorrow morning, they're planning to leave right at 8 a.m.
All right.
Well, it's at the northernmost dock. Oh, that's right by Shelley. So I want to stop by and meet Captain Valhall before we head off.
Great. Now, let me ask you, Michelmas, how much do you know about Demo? Make a religion check.
Where'd it go? Religion. 21.
Michelmas is familiar with the name. Demo is the Archdevil of War.
So what else do we need to know before heading off on this journey?
Well, you see, when Demo was killed at the beginning of the Fracture War, the forces of good were able to take his axe so it could not be used to reunite the barbarian clans who had all joined forces under Demo. Unfortunately, he eventually returned as an archdevil and they're reunited again, but there was a cleric who was assigned to sail off east and essentially drop the axe into the ocean to hide it from anyone from it being used again as a symbol of evil. However, one of the former deans of the university here in Anatolia discovered that it was not actually dropped into the middle of the ocean. It was buried on an island in the Eastern Isles.
Do we have any idea why it wasn't just dropped into the ocean?
I'm afraid that information has been lost in time.
So, how evil is this axe?
To be honest, we don't know. There is not a lot of information about it, but most of its power is likely in its use as a symbol, you know? I mean, because Demo essentially was the one who started the Fracture War, the first one corrupted by Tashan in the war.
I would like to find this axe.
I thought of been slipping behind. Maybe it'd be fun for Corvus to have it. Maybe it'd be really bad.
Ori is gonna ask in her head, you ever meet Demo?
Ori hears in her left ear, "What, you think just because we're archangels we've met every single archdevil? I mean, really, he's not just like a random archdevil, he's like the archdevil, you know? I mean, he's like, I don't know, he's like a celebrity."
No, just because since you guys are like, I don't know, you know? Just there, you know? You've been around for a minute. Who knows? Might have bumped into each other. At the breakfast nook. Over pancakes. I don't know.
Riddick speaks in Mari's right ear. "Oh yeah, because all of us arch people just have a lovely bed and breakfast here in Limbo. Where we can all trade tales, talk about the good old days. Yeah, no.
I knew it! Ah, I called it! Because you guys are definitely archangels. Who own a breakfast nook that serves every other arch being in the cosmos. For sure. That's my new story. I'm gonna stick with it, I think.
There's no response. But while that conversation was going on in Ori's head, Varol continued. Yes, thanks to the research of Onder and Christ here, we have narrowed down the location to one of 2 islands. The islands are called Isla Koryu and Fernden.
So then the boat's gonna take us there?
Yes, the voyage, which I believe is supposed to last for 2.5 weeks. If all goes well, weather-wise and such. Yes, take you first to Isla Koryu and then Fernden. And then actually return back at the port in Lux.
Oh. And are you gonna be back in Lux then?
Yes, I plan on heading back to Lux in a few days. So, do you have any other burning questions for me?
What else are the stories about the axe and where it's protected, how it's protected? Anything that would help us?
Well, unfortunately, that info has also been lost in time, but believe me, with our research, we know for a fact that the cleric who was sent to hide the axe noted those 2 islands, and seems like... And if the axe is anywhere, it will be on one of those 2 islands.
Okay.
Alright. Do you believe that the axe would have any particularly negative effects just from being interacted with? Or is it symbolic purely, do you think?
It is mostly just symbolic, but you should not underestimate the power of symbols, young one.
Okay.
I think we'll bring some cloth to pick it up with.
Yes. No.
Seems like a no direct touching kind of thing.
That's what Ori was kind of angling at with her question, but, maybe symbolically it'll, hurt our eyes to look at directly. But that sounds good.
Well, with business out of the way, as Burl suddenly has a curious look on his face as he just now realizes that Emma is not with the party, and he says, "Where is... what was her name again? Was it Leah?"
Emma, she's getting a tour of her new school.
Oh, that's lovely. Leah got into East March?
She did, yes.
Well, I don't know about Leah, but Emma did.
Oh, that's wonderful. Be sure to give her my congratulations for her next time you see her.
Sure.
We will. Alright.
Alright.
And we leave tomorrow, did we say?
Tomorrow morning, yeah. Pretty
yes,
early.
Tomorrow...
Meeting.
Yeah, it's supposed to set sail at 8 a.m.
Alright.
Well,
So I want to go talk to the captain, but if anybody else wants to come, or if they want to get set up at Shelly's first, or...
So we're at the church right now?
Yes, you are in the center of town right now.
Okay. I mean, it's whatever. We can go talk to the captain first if that's what Mickey wants to do.
I do.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah, I mean, Ori's definitely interested in meeting her if she's available.
Well,
Not too busy.
Yeah, and they said the ship was at the northern end of the docks. That's right where the Shelley's is,
Yeah.
too.
So the ship first.
Yep.
Right, the party heads east towards the docks, passing by Shelley's along the way. Seems to be a somewhat large, square-shaped two-story building. But noting where it is, they walk over towards the docks, reaching the northernmost, where they spot the ship labeled the Isle Runner on the side. It is a 3-mast sailing ship. Looks to be a little bit smaller compared to most of the other ships that are near the docks and appear to be sailing in from the ocean. There is a walking plank leading up onto the ship, but the party does not currently see anyone on the ship.
It seems kind of rude just to walk up there if we don't know the captain yet.
I'll use thaumaturgy to give a big hello.
Ahoy!
Michelmas, with his high passive perception, hears the quiet sound of a bump and someone saying, "Ah!" And after a few seconds, the party sees a short gnome who is wearing a tunic whose sleeves have been torn off, revealing his large and muscular arms. Large for a gnome, that is. Both of which appear to be tattooed. His right arm in black ink, his left arm in some red ink, which appears to shimmer in the sunlight, very, very curiously. He has a hammer in one hand, and he's rubbing the top of his head as he walks over towards the edge of the ship near the top of the walkway and says, "Well, you didn't have to shout, you know."
Sorry if we didn't know where people were. We didn't see anyone on deck.
Are you the captain?
Do I look like a captain?
I wouldn't dare to presume what a captain looks like or not.
No, I'm not Captain Valhall. I'm the carpenter.
Oh. It must be nice working with your hands on a ship. How'd you get into that business?
He'll stare at Ori for a moment, and then the gnome asks, "So do you want to talk to the captain or not? Because she's not
Yes,
here."
please.
Okay. We're told the ship is sailing tomorrow, and we have passage booked on it. Is that
We're your passengers. The one and only
Is that true?
passengers.
Oh, so you're the landlubbers we're taking out east with us.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Great. Well, captain's with the rest of the crew over at Shelley's.
Oh. Will you be sailing with us as well? Do carpenters sail with the ship?
Do you know what happens to a ship when it springs a leak?
It sinks.
Yeah. Is that good or bad?
You know what? I'll get back to you on that one. I think I have to think about it a minute.
The carpenter rolls his eyes and says, "Yeah, well, don't think too hard." And then walks back somewhere on the ship, away from the party site.
I guess we can go back to Shelly's.
Yeah, let's stop antagonizing the crew and head to
I was antagonized first! He started it!
I pat her on the back. Come on, let's go.
Ori kind of sighs and like walks away.
I know.
He called us landlubbers. He should expect stupid questions.
To be fair, we are landlubbers.
I know, that's why he should expect stupid questions.
As Mari and Ori are talking about their social skills, well, Ori's social skills, they quickly make their way into Shelly's Tavern and Inn. Inside, there are several rectangular tables with benches set up, along with a few round tables. Seems to be rather busy, seemingly, despite being in mid-afternoon. As the party looks around, they see a female water genasi who appears to be cleaning some glasses, and a human woman barmaid who appears to be handing out drinks to some of the patrons. Also, your tokens are not on the map, which I will fix in one moment. I mean, come on guys, move your tokens, tell me where you want to go.
Well, I think we want to look around and see if we can identify the captain.
Make a perception check, Ash. Looking around, you do see one person inside Shelly's who looks like a captain, although you don't have a lot to go on because of your limited sailing experience. But sitting by herself in one corner is a female woman with long white hair pulled back into a ponytail. She's wearing a red, a maroon captain's coat.
I'm gonna walk up to her and say, "Hi, are you Captain Valhall of the Isle Runner?"
She quickly sizes you up and then asks, "And what if I am?"
We were looking for a ride tomorrow.
Well,
Going to the islands.
If you're looking for a pleasure cruise, I recommend you find a different ship.
Not looking for any pleasure cruise. Are you not Captain Valhall?
what my friend has neglected to mention is that we've already actually been contracted to... You've already been contracted to schlep us over to the islands. Through...
Did you say schlep?
Yes. through the priest, Verl, what's his name?
Roll.
Verl told us you were already expecting us.
She looks over both of you and says, "So which one of you is actually in his order?"
Oh, that'd be that guy. She'll point at Mickey.
I'll point at my robes.
This is going great.
Overboard.
Right, well... Ship sets sail at 8 a.m. tomorrow. If you're late, we won't stop for you.
Fair enough. Do you have other business at the islands, then?
Yeah.
Cool.
Alright, well, I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
She nods, keeps her eyes on you as you walk away.
That went great. That went
'Cause
great.
she's interesting.
You
Anything suspicious or stand out about her? What's my general impression?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Another 20.
Nice.
Well, you do notice she is wearing what you're guessing is, well, based on what you know, somewhat stereotypical gear for a sailor, with the tall black boots with the floppy cuffs, trousers, simple tunic, along with a red belt sash. You do notice she does have a rapier on her belt. You don't really gain a whole lot of insight or learn a whole lot of any. You do not learn anything of note really from her.
I don't think she wanted to get a jump start on captain-passenger bonding time tonight, though, so maybe we can get it better acquainted tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But Ori will walk up to the water genasi and wait for her when she's got her attention and say, who would we talk to about getting rooms for the night? If you have any available?
The water genasi gives Ori a smile and says, "Oh, you need to talk to Shelly for that.
Where's she?
Right here." And she gives a big grin.
Oh, great. Just the woman I'm looking for. There's, 5 of us looking for lodging tonight. Just for the one night.
Well, we only got double rooms unless you want to rent a room with a double bed and have 3 people share it, although that'd be pretty tight and cozy.
3 rooms should be good then.
Right, do you want single beds or a double bed in any of them?
Just 2 singles should be fine.
Alright, so for 3 rooms, that will be... where was that note I left with updated prices? Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm not the most tidy genasi in the lot.
Not to worry.
Right, already 9 silver for the night.
Okay. Or we'll pay the 9 silver. For all 3 of them?
Yes, total for all
Okay.
3.
Alright. Great. I appreciate it, Shelly.
Lovely. So, you're just passing through or staying for a while?
Yep, just passing through. We'll be shipping out in the morning from the docks.
Really? No offense, but you don't really look like sailors.
We're really not. We're just gonna be passengers. I mean, I'd be happy to try to hold down a rope if need be, but I don't think they should trust me with much more than that. Have you, do you know many of the captains around these parts who frequent the port then?
Yeah, I know quite a few of them, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna be sailing with under Captain Valhall.
Really?
Yeah. Do you have any particular kind of reaction to that?
Oh, I didn't know Captain Valhall allowed passengers on our voyages.
Well, it does seem that we're paying a fair, pretty penny per person for the privilege. So.
Well, that would explain it.
Yeah. Is she pretty experienced then?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, she's been sailing as long as she could walk, from what I've heard.
Oh, well, that's quite a lot of practice. Well, I appreciate it. we'll probably be back for dinner in a little bit.
Lovely, although, word of advice, place fills up pretty quickly at night.
Okay, good to
Sure,
know. Thank
you
you.
just don't want to stick around, buy a few drinks while you wait? Save yourself a table?
Oh, we might do that. We have a friend we need to pick up from the university who's gonna be eating with us, so. But maybe a couple of us will hold the table, and some of us will pick up. Well, I'll talk to my friends and see what they want to do. I might take you up on that offer.
Lovely. Well,
So-
whatever you need, just ask me or Tabby, as she points over towards the barmaid,
Perfect.
who's continuing making her rounds around.
So yeah, she seemed to think the place fills up fast, so we might actually want someone or a couple people to hold down a table while other folks grab Emma. If we can probably keep a table pretty easily if we order drinks.
Yeah. I'll stay.
I'll stay too.
I'll go get Emma.
What time is it? Nowish?
Right now, it's around, let's say, 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Probably closer to 4.
Okay. Well, we probably don't want to go grab Emma for another hour. Want to make sure she has time to get settled at school and whatnot. So we can probably hang out a bit. Then I'll send her and go to pick her up a little
Just
later. Probably.
Out of character, Jacob, the map has a thing labeled the armory. Is that like the town's armory, or is that a person who sells armor?
Oh, the armory. Oh, that is the base for the local Kingsmen.
Okay.
It would
Good to
be the blacksmith in town is actually Smiths.
Mm.
Yeah, no, Ori and Mari would be able to tell you that Smiths is one of the only actual physical shops in town. Most people just most of the crafted goods in town are just sold in stalls at the town square.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think Ori will order a drink and just kind of chill out for a bit at Shelly's before getting ready to grab Emma.
Right, a drink will be 5 copper per drink.
Is there a job board at Shelley's?
There is a job board.
Is there anything on it that looks like it might be from the Black Rose Thieves Guild?
Looking on the job board, you do not see anything written in Thieves' Cant. You do see the typical poster you've seen in a lot of other establishments, talking about how you should protect your kingdom by enlisting in the Kingsmen. Most of the other ads appear to be wanted ads for ships needing more crew.
Okay. I want to post on the board. I want to post that note I took from the Glory Road Inn that said the garden awaits, and I want to write in a response on it in Thieves' Cant, and basically I just wanted to say something along the lines of, "And so the sun shall shine upon the garden, Glory Road Inn, Lux," and then put Ash at the end of it. Just to see if anything happens when we get back to Lux.
Just trying to stir up
Just
trouble.
I'm just curious.
No, that's fine.
Alright, I will make a note of that. Okay, is the rest of the party going to... Is the entire party going to take a break inside Shelly's for a moment?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll get a drink.
Yeah.
Drinks are 5 copper each, and meals are also 5 copper each.
We're going to be eating with Yeah, Emma.
Yeah. Yeah, I think around, unless there's something someone wants to do, I think around 5 o'clock, Aura's gonna send Emma. And be like, hey, we're settled at Shelly's. Are you ready for dinner? When should we pick you up? Hope you've had fun.
Emma will quickly reply, "Oh, I've had lots of fun so far. Learned a lot. It's sort of been intimidating. I can actually just meet you at Shelly's."
Okay. Emma's on her way. Over. She'll let everyone else know. It's gonna be kind of weird not having her around.
Yeah.
As the party waits
I almost feel.
for...
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I almost feel guilty like letting her walk across town by herself, but you know she's an adult.
She's gonna be walking across town by herself while we're gone.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, same.
I do want to like get up and stretch my legs and walk around. Is the neighborhood like super seedy, or is it going to be safe for her to come at this time of day?
I mean, from what you can tell, Michelmas, it's just as seedy as a normal city in Michelmas's eyes.
Okay.
So I'll leave that up to you whether or not Michelmas would think a city normally is seedy or not.
It's very seedy, but if it's like normal, then that's a bit disturbing morally. But you know, she'll need to be doing it on her own anyway. So good to start now. Actually, is she like? Do we think she's familiar enough with, being alert?
Maybe we should go
and
meet
safe
her.
on own?
I mean, Emma said she would meet us here. If people get up to like go meet her, or we're just gonna say, if Emma said she's gonna meet us here, I think we can trust her to do that decision,
I
and
trust her.
not baby her too much,
Mari sits back down.
Before Emma arrives at the tavern, the party sees the gnome who they saw on the Isle Runner, along with a teenage boy who looks to be in his late teens, who walks in. The gnome will look over at the rest of the party, then look back over towards the human and says, "These are the landlubbers who'll be with us."
Or we will give them a cheerful wave and be like, I've decided I think it'll be a bad thing if the ship sinks.
The gnome will stop and look over towards Ori and says, "Yeah, that's why you need a carpenter like me."
Excellent. I think she tried to say it in a kind of jokey way, like, she's not trying to play it too serious, like.
He will also reply with that with a lovely. After about another 20 minutes, Emma will walk in if...
And Ori
if her
breathes a
token
sigh of
will load.
relief.
Her token is not
Mari
loading. 1
visibly
second.
relaxes.
Emma will
Well,
walk
how are you
in. Yeah, she'll sit down with a big sigh right next to Ori and says, "Wow, I'm sort of exhausted just from everything that's been happening today."
It's a lot to
A
take
lot
in.
to take in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or nods at Mari. How are you liking your new city that's gonna be your home for a little while?
Oh, I like it. Lux was just really, I don't know, Lux. I liked being in Lux, but I felt like it was just a little too big, you know. But
Yeah.
this place, I feel like just a little bit smaller seems a lot more to my liking.
Good. I did want to tell you, I think it seems, I mean, I'm sure you know this already, but I do think that Professor Shane seems like a great guy. And I'm glad you got him in your corner.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. I'm really glad it's going to be him being my main teacher and not Alex's stepmother.
Oh, is that who that wood elf woman is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like her. I don't know. I wouldn't trust her. I don't know how to say that nicely, but I would definitely stick close to Shane and not so much to her. I don't know. Maybe Alex would have some advice with how to deal with her, or help her warm up to you more, but I would mostly just not worry too much about her if I were you, and what she thinks, hopefully.
Did he tell you much about her before this?
Not really. Mostly just said that his stepmother was the divination dean, but I probably wouldn't be doing a whole lot of work with her.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Well,
Did they show you? Do you have like a dorm to stay in?
Yeah, I have my own room and everything over in the dorms.
Good.
oh, good.
Yeah, it's surprisingly big for just me. It's gonna be sort of weird for a while, I think, living there.
You'll have to fill it up with some books and some sewing projects. Make it feel homey.
Yeah, maybe more sewing projects than books.
Sure. I don't know what it just seems like a thing you put in dorm rooms, books. But what do I know? You can put in whatever you want. Have you met any of the other students yet?
Yeah, I met a lot. All of them were really kind, welcoming me in, giving me
Good.
little tips and advice on my first week.
Good.
Great. Yeah, so we're gonna be sailing out tomorrow morning, and we're gonna be sailing back into Lux. So we won't be back here anytime soon, but if you ever pick up sending, be sure to send me, and I'll try to send you once in a while too. You could probably mail the church or the cathedral back in Lux, and that would probably to Mickey's boss. That'd probably get back to us eventually if you wanted to snail mail it.
Snail mail?
Snail, slow, like traditional mail, instead of sending.
Oh,
It
okay.
seems so-
Yeah.
It seems so slow now that I know I can send my thoughts to someone instantaneously.
Yeah, well, I'd love to learn how to send messages like you. I know. Was it easy for you to learn it? I mean, how long did it take you?
I guess it's been like a year, I guess, since I've been kind of trying to figure out this stuff out. So I don't. It's weird. It's weird. It's hard to describe how I figured it out. That's why I'm really not a teacher, I feel like. But I'm sure someone can help you figure it out. Much better than I ever could have.
Well, I'm gonna miss all of you.
Oh.
We're gonna miss you too.
But I'm so glad that you've gotten into the university, and this isn't the end. Obviously, we're gonna keep in touch.
Yeah,
and you'll let us know if anyone gives you trouble. We'll come back here as soon as we can. We know of at least one teleportation circle that can get us here.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be fine. And if there is a problem, I'll be sure to let you know. Okay?
Good.
Did they talk about tuition costs or boarding costs at all today? I want to make sure you're settled in and you've got everything you need before we leave in the morning.
Yeah, well, actually, Dean Vakri actually offered to cover my costs for the first year. Just to see how I liked it.
Oh, wow.
Great. Which one was, Dean Vakri, sorry, that was his first name, right. Oh, that's very, that's great. That's very kind of him. Good.
Do you need a little walk around money or anything?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you need a little walking around money or anything?
No, I'm fine. I really am.
Okay.
But I mean, he did tell me that most of the students take little side jobs just to make a little extra coin here and there. But I mean, I got my sewing for that.
Okay. I just want to make sure you have everything you need.
Ori's a lot more relaxed now, and she's just gonna kind of smile and like gesture for I forgot the server's name already.
The server is Tabby.
Tabby, yeah, kind of like signaled Tabby over when she's got a free moment to order food and drinks for everyone who wants it.
Tabby will walk over and say, "Well, good evening. What can I get for you tonight?" Round for everyone?
Yes, dinner and drinks, please.
Lovely. And anything for this little boy? Oh, who's a good boy? As he leans down and starts petting Dash.
I mean, if you've got any extra bones or anything that he can chew on, that'd be good. Any scraps?
I'm afraid the only bones we got right now are fish bones, but I'll see what we gotten back.
Guess he'll just have to stick to gnawing on the flump.
Yes, a few people sitting close by you do occasionally look back, wondering what the source is of the strange squeaking noise, which is emanating from underneath the bench that Ash is sitting on. But it's just Dash still trying to tear away at the indestructible Flump squeak toy. But after about half an hour, Tabby will return with grilled fish and drinks for everyone.
Ooh, nice.
And she'll lean down to pet Dash again and say, "Lucky for you, we do have a bone." which you won't swallow. As Dash finally lets go of the squeak toy and starts biting away at the bone.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. And that'd be 6 silver to cover the meals.
I got it.
As the party is eating their meal, they are serenaded by the gnome carpenter they met on the Owl Runner, who is
Oh.
now standing on a table, and he with an accordion is singing out a song, with everyone else on the tables around him joining in on the song.
Is he any good?
He's surprisingly good, despite
Okay.
it being a pretty simple sea shanty. Yeah, he's not bad.
Well, he might be nice to have around on the boat, not just for his carpentry skills. He's the carpenter, and she'll tell Emma, hey, he's the carpenter. For the boat we're on.
Do you meet anyone else in the crew?
The captain's that lady over there in the corner. She's a bit subdued, and I'm assuming that he's eating with other crew members, but I'm not sure.
You came in with that teenager,
Yeah, he came with that kid.
but I'm sure we'll win them all over with our delightful banter and personalities.
Yeah, we've been doing really well so far.
Emma starts laughing and then says, "Oh, I'm sure Ari will be able to wear them down eventually."
Thanks, Emma. It's so great that you believe in me.
And with that, I'll leave it up to the party if there's anything else you'd like to do before heading in for the night.
Mari wants to make sure she gets a good night's sleep.
Yeah. I mean, besides giving Emma a great big hug when
Yeah.
she has to leave, that's about it.
Alright, and with that, the party heads in for the night, and after getting a nice, lovely, long rest, everyone wakes up little after 7 by the time everyone gets back downstairs. Is everyone gonna buy breakfast before heading over towards the docks?
Yeah, if we've
Yep.
got time for breakfast. We'll buy breakfast.
A quick breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. I want to be there by like 7:40.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's lucky for
For
you.
sure wants to be
there is-
early.
Yes, there is some fish chowder, which is a little bit spicy. Definitely a lot better than the bland chowder you had first back in Baker's Rock.
All
But
right.
that's it will be 5 copper per
Okay.
serving of breakfast. And right after you finish, Emma runs in quickly, saying, "Oh, I'm glad you didn't leave yet. I want to say
Oh.
goodbye one last time."
Okay.
Aw, another round of hugs.
Yeah. Always happy to. Yeah, Kermers always needs more hugging practice.
Emma will just look over at Corvus and ask, "Did you want another hug?"
Maybe next time, kid.
Wow. Oh well. You know we all love you, Emma. And she'll give Emma a great big hug. For sure, and say, yeah, knock him dead.
Yeah, Emma will walk with the rest of the party over towards the docks and stay on the docks to wave everyone goodbye
Aw.
when they do
I
set off.
think Ori does tear up a little bit when she's kind of like walking onto the ship with Emma, just off on the dock there by herself.
Yes. With the party walking on, the party does indeed see the other crew members who are at the same table as the gnome carpenter.
Ooh.
Yes, there appears to be... you see 4 crew members on the top deck of the ship. You see an elven gentleman who is wearing some surprisingly fine clothes for a sailor who has a clipboard and is marking off things, as an orc and the teenage boy are both carrying up large crates up onto the ship and then down below. However, there's an there's a middle-aged man with a big black beard who sees all of you walk up. He'll greet you and say, "Well, morning, folks. You are passengers?"
Aye.
Yes, we are.
He'll grin and wink towards Ash and say, "Aye, aye."
Aye.
Oh boy.
Well, have any of you landlubbers been on a ship before?
Not me.
Nope.
I mean, just small rowboats.
Well, yes, okay, yes, we've been in rowboats before, but I think it's an insult to try to compare them to ships, honestly.
Thank you. Finally, someone who understands. Big
So
difference
glad to
between ships and
understand.
boats. All right.
It's
Well-
nice to get something right.
Well, this is the Isle Runner. I am the first mate. You can call me Ham.
Cool.
Let me tell you about our crew. So our captain, who I saw couple of you talk to last night, Captain Valhall. You will address her as Captain or Captain Valhall.
Okay.
Me, as our first mate, I am second in command, and if the captain or I tell you to do something, you do it.
Okay.
Yes. And I do mean if we tell you to do something, you do it. Because we're here to ensure the safety of everyone, and most importantly, this ship. Because it's sort of what's keeping us out of the water.
Understood.
Cool.
Yes, the attractive-looking elf over there with the clipboard is Breo Silton. Yeah, once you pull out your coin purses and pull out whatever it is Captain's making you pay to join us, you can pay that over to him. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The tall, frowning orc fellow who's carrying in 3 crates at once, that's Sean. He's our navigator and helmsman. Doesn't talk too much, but don't let that stop you from talking to him. He doesn't mind it, trust me. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, downstairs in the galley, we got our surgeon and cook, Porter. To be honest with
and
you,
cook.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
it usually goes on ships.
He's good with
Yeah.
knives.
yeah, well,
It's all
well,
meat.
alright, listen. Okay, yeah, he looks around to make sure Porter isn't on deck, then he leans in and says, alright, believe me, Porter has heard every single joke about how his food will make people need his help. He's heard every possible joke under the sun. But the crew still love the glare. It's so hilarious, his angry glare. Just tell them all to him anyways.
I don't mess with the person making my food.
Or he files his
oh.
advice under question mark.
Oh, trust me, he's all bark and no bite. Believe me. Believe me, it'll be hilarious.
Okay.
Alright, and the short and skinny one over there, he's our cabin boy, Billy. Been with us for the last few weeks. And then, let's see, next in the hierarchy is, the sharks and the fishes in the ocean. And then, somewhere underneath there are all of you landlubbers. So until you get your sea legs, remember your place. Alright, now since none of you have been on a ship before, couple things. When you're standing at the helm, that's the big wheel down there. when you're standing there facing it, steering the ship, the front of the ship is the stern, back of the ship is the bow. The
front
left
of the ship
part,
is the bow. The back of a ship is the stern. This is out of character.
Oh, you're right. I totally forgot to review this. Yeah. Stern and back, bow up front. Alright. Left part is port. Right side is starboard. Any questions?
So are there any,
Good! So, why don't y'all help carrying crates for us?
Sure.
We gotta make
that was
sure
really my
we're-
question.
We gotta make sure we're setting sail by 8.
Is that an order?
Ori is going to help pick up crates before Ash.
Yeah.
Ash is gonna sass this man.
No, because you said that if you're told to do something, do it. But it just sounds like you're insinuating we should do it.
Landlubbers, go help carry on the cargo. Now, that
Aye,
is in
sir.
order.
Ori's
Aye,
already
aye,
helping.
sir.
Ori's already helping.
I look to the guy who's supposed to take our money, and I'll go pay him for everyone. And I'll ask for a receipt so he can turn it in and get reimbursed.
You really need a receipt?
Yes. I look at him, kind of shocked.
Alright, just give me a moment. He ruffles through some papers in his clipboard, finds a blank sheet of parchment, and quickly writes out a very informal-looking receipt, then signs and dates it, then rips it off, hands it over to you, Michelmas, and says, "Will that do?"
Sure. So,
Ori will be
how
like,
much do I
maybe get the captain sign it too when you get a moment. And when she's not busy.
The captain has entrusted me to take care of all of your payments. So believe me, you do not need to bother her with such a trivial thing.
Alright.
So how much total is it?
It is 50 gold. Uh, 50.
I don't know how well Ori's gonna do helping with crates, but she is trying. I assure you.
Let's have everyone make a strength check.
Oh boy. Okay.
Hey, just. this is
Here
good
comes a
stuff.
natural
That's a
one.
save,
Just
that's a
wait.
save.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Wow, Ori's doing better than Corvus. Ori's just so desperate not to be like the total like landlubber, like dragging everyone else down that she's like just pushing herself so hard right now not to be like to be as helpful as possible.
Yes, First Mate Ham will tell Corvus, Michelmas, and Ash, Here, why don't you take care of that stack of crates over there? They're the heavy ones.
Uh,
And it turns out they were quite a lot heavier than the ones that Ori and Mari carried up. But despite that, with everyone helping, the Isle Runner is loaded before 8 a.m.
Can I tell what's in the crates at all?
Make an investigation check.
Oh.
I mean, Ori doesn't want to like sit down and like open one up or anything, but just if she can like if she can figure anything out.
The crates that Ori was carrying, she's pretty sure it's just food that'll be needed.
Okay. Excuse me. Cool.
And with that, Sean will knock on a door underneath the helm's deck. We'll yell, "Captain, we're all set to sail." We're going off. Then Captain Valhall walking out, still wearing the maroon captain's coat from the day before, but now with a white and red dress underneath. she will join Sean up on the helm's deck. As the Isle Runner sails off east, there is one figure on the docks waving goodbye with tears in her eyes as Emma waves goodbye to the Crown Gall.
Should we have left Dash with her?
No, you probably can't have dogs in a dorm.
That's good.
But Ori will send up some sparks as she waves bye back to Emma.
As Emma slowly disappears into the horizon, Ham will walk up to you, Ori, and ask, "So, you're one of them East March types, huh?"
Well, no, I'm more self-taught. I never really never really did well in school, but I got some knowledge, I guess. Some intuitions more about magic, really.
Yeah, you know any fire magic?
Do I know? I don't think I know. I don't.
Make a deception check.
Wait. Oh shoot! I don't. I do know fire. I forgot. I know fireball, and I know flaming spear.
Right. He will say, "Good. Well, in case you or anyone else knows any fire magic, you should know you try to use it on the ship. And you'll be having dinner with the fishes."
Fair enough. Understood.
Great. Welcome aboard the Isle Runner.
Thank you.
And with that, it is 9:57, and it is a good place for us to end this episode.
Oh boy, we're on a boat.
What could happen go wrong with that?
Can't think of
Certainly
anything.
no krakens or leviathans or
I mean, as long as a certain person on our ship doesn't cast fireball, I think we'll be fine.
Hey, if I cast fireball into the water, it'll be okay. I can cast fireball that won't be on the ship, so
Yeah.
I'm not planning on casting fireball on enemies on a ship.
And if we get in trouble, you can cast fireball on the ship, and we can bail out.
Yeah, and then drown? Where are you going
I got
with
the
this?
I got the ring of water breathing.
Yeah,
can
okay,
you-
okay.
Around.
Okay,
Can you
so
cast
Corvus
that now?
survives.
Because it's
And
like
the
a
rest of
24-hour
us.
thing.
I'm fairly certain the water breathing spell you can cast on multiple people, can't you? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
Okay.
you can cast
Oh,
it
you
on
can?
up to 10 willing creatures.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
So
Just
can you
saying,
cast that now?
we can bail if we have to.
Well, as long as we're within it lasts for 24 hours. Okay, so as long as if we're within a 24-hour swim of somewhere else, sure. And we don't die of exhaustion trying to figure that out.
That is a problem.
This is like
Maybe
Plan ZZ.
I'll stock Summon Steed and could it be like a whale?
Oh my god, I wish.
Summon
Summon a
For
whale.
greater purposes.